You realize that Steve Harvey loves to impart relationship guidance to most of us, yet it seems like he follows a portion of his suggestions with regards to picking a man well in the realm of Hollywood. When each new day is set apart with another embarrassment, it's still difficult to accept that Steve Harvey has lots of dearly held secrets. And folks, you'll be stunned to see the undeniable proof about Steve's actual inclinations and hear how his family found out about his affection for men. Well, try to stay close by in light of the fact that I'm jumping straight into the delicious subtleties. Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to Celeb Live Station. Steve Harvey is at present standing out as truly newsworthy, yet there's no need to focus on his astounding abilities of a television have or a professional comic. The claims that the entertainer and inspirational orator is betraying his significant other, Marjorie Harvey, spread across the media like a plague. And clearly things are considerably more chaotic than we naturally suspect. Well, Steve is no more bizarre to laying down with different ladies while being in a serious relationship. And you recollect his initial two relationships finished on the grounds that he was betraying his companions. And in spite of the fact that his most recent paramour Marjorie transformed into his significant other, evidently even this hot and dazzling woman can't fulfill every one of the requirements of the comic. And there were reports flowing in Hollywood that Steve is looking for delights as an afterthought with men. And with Steve's so handily built picture of a dad or various children, and having Marjorie close by for right around 16 years, nobody would trust that is taking cover behind this veneer of all-out manliness on the off chance that there wasn't undeniable proof uncovering the television have something greater at a gay bar than different bars. Well, Steve might deny anything he needs, yet reality will continuously support. And as per Ashuberry, a common right lobbyist, Steve has a ton of close-aided truth, as per Essie, the openness of Steve's mysterious undertakings with men began in 2013 when she was assisting Mary Harvey, Steve Harvey's ex, for certain lawful issues. Essie expressed that Steve could have done without the way that she was helping his ex-life partner, and he started scaring her with alarm strategies alongside compromising and bugging messages. Truth be told, he was anxious about the possibility that Essie could dig so profound that all reality with regards to his life would surface. And obviously Essie mastered something while she was working with Steve's ex, as the common right dissident expressed. Mary and her child Winton have found a mysterious entryway in the house with a computerized lock on it. After numerous endeavors, the kid at last deciphered the code. Yet I surmise they wish they have never have found what was inside, since it stunned both Mary and her child. To the very center, this mysterious den was loaded with tubes with Vaseline in the walls. And what most was the breaking thing to witness is the photographs of stripped men on the PC screen. Well, they unquestionably didn't expect that from Steve, and the fresh insight about him partaking in the organization of men is truly following great individuals have long conjectured on Harvey's odd remarks and unpretentious clues during meetings and public appearances. Yet in the end, he was in every case extremely clandestine about the side of his life, and he even took steps to hurt Essie, assuming she keeps on uncovering his mysteries. As Essie said, Steve Harvey is a hazardous and savage man that takes cover behind his wealth and distinction. There is a clouded side that dwell inside his spirit. He is a controller, liar, and intimidator that undermines, swindles, menaces, and pesters people of color that he feels has no influence except for Essie isn't the sort of lady to be hushed and undermined. So she hit the comic with a limiting request which guaranteed her security and permitted her to let the cat out of the bag about Steve's twofold life. I mean the hypotheses of Steve and joint mail for a very long time, and fans likewise found many hints prompting the way that Steve more than faithful to any types of adoration, and being with anything accomplice is appropriate for you. Once he remarked on questionable parental way of behaving when guardians can't acknowledge their but children and remove them from the house in their lives. When Olympic skier Gus Kenworthy got serious about his experience of emerging to his folks at Steve's show saying, "When I emerged to my family, they were totally cherishing and strong tragically." That is not a reality for a ton of Alphabet youth. When they tell their folks a ton of children end up on the roads, Steve Harvey appeared to be staggered to hear that a few guardians reject their youngsters for that, and he offered his own viewpoint on that matter, saying you can't dismiss your kid for falling head over heels. And acting naturally in the new years, Steve had been attempting to advance sound reasoning and keep individuals from putting stock in generalizations and examples. When it brushed to connections between two individuals, well, it doesn't demonstrate obviously that Steve is into men himself, yet there are a lot of different pieces of information that could have exposed him all through his vocation, beginning with his closet and style decisions. And you can't resist the urge to see that they obscure all the conventional manliness energies and give the impression of Steve being into brilliant and energetic male gatherings. And here's more to add to Steve's picture. And it comes from the way that he loves to give proposals to women about dating as though he comprehends something in satisfying a man. And it seems like he even offered his inclinations when he was discussing information Asian men in a single episode of his partnered syndicated program. And he looked so rebuffed of dating one while talking about a book about relationship guidance for Asian men. Steve couldn't shun a terrible remark, presumably coming from his own experience, since by what other method might you at any point make sense of such a bigoted punch at the whole country for not a great explanation do you like Asian meant? No way deciding from the way that Harvey continued to twofold done with chuckling at proprietor marks. He didn't seem to see any issue with his words, for Harvey's remarks weren't taken pleasantly by the crowd, and expecting that his prominence could get a defeat due to this assertion. So he at last chose to apologize for his words. And he even took it to his virtual entertainment, joking, "I offered the humblest conciliatory sentiment for culpable anybody, especially those in the Asian people group last week. It was not my aim, and the humor was not implied with any malignance or lack of respect at all many individuals, except that Steve was talking about his own inclinations. And for reasons unknown, he was unable to envision himself with an Asian man. Well, it seems like he has a tremendous decision of others able to lay down with him in his mysterious den, and a few fans can't handle the way that Steve Harvey is one more close-headed superstar who can't be open about inclinations, and even stoops so low that he furtively goes behind his flow spouse's back with men. As one client referenced, not Steve Harvey, "My experience growing up feels demolished." Or Kelly was correct, he caught in the storeroom. Now he is opening the storage room, and another client added, perhaps, that is the reason he cheats in light of the fact that a lady truly doesn't fulfill him. And keeping in mind that Steve has making a good attempt to maintain his mystery, evidently a portion of his popular companions realized what was happening, and they attempted to safeguard Steve from being uncovered. Well, it's hazy regardless of whether any Steve's intercourse with men were consensual, and assuming his sweethearts were old enough, yet it appears to be very obscure that the jokester's companion, Bill Cosby, who was blamed for sedating and physically attacking previous sanctuary college worker Andrea, consistent at his Elkins Park, Pennsylvania chateau. In